Hey there everybody, I'm Reload. How's it going? So CCP made a major announcement this week in that EVE Online will be moving towards the free-to-play gameplay model. It's not going to be 100% free-to-play, but the option will be there for people that don't want to pay for the game. Basically, it's going to be more of a Space Hotel California where you can check out the game, but you really cannot ever leave. I found out about the news because my Twitter feed started blowing up with mostly negative comments about EVE Online, and I wasn't sure what was happening at the time. And when I heard the words free to play, I wasn't really sure how I would feel about this. My only other experience with the game going free to play was Team Fortress 2, and at the time I wasn't really happy about it because personally I've paid for the game to begin with, and then it started moving towards the direction that I didn't really like. But still I still kept playing the game and I still enjoy it to this day actually. So to begin with, I was a little bit apprehensive about what might happen to EVE Online, but then I actually read the dev blog, and that really explained what will be happening in EVE Online come November of this year. So let's leave all the drama aside about the free-to-play model and take a look what's actually in store for EVE Online. So now every character created in EVE Online will have two clone states, the Alpha and Omega. For all intents and purposes, the Omega state of the clone will be exactly the same as the one right now for paid subscriptions. But the Alpha state is the interesting one. That's the one that's kind of moving towards a permanent free trial of the game. This new Alpha clone state will be coming with tons of limitations in terms of skill training. First of all, it will be capped at 5 million skill points, and then the rate of skill training will actually be much slower. Well, we don't know how much, the details aren't there yet, but it will be slower than the current rate of skill training. Furthermore, the very important part about the Alpha clone skills is that they will be limited towards the race that you picked at the start. That is, if you're an Amar character, you can only train Amar frigates, destroyers and cruisers. That is, you really become locked in to whatever race you pick at the start, which is in a stark difference to the current trial accounts where you can kind of cross-train between the races to a certain limit. Now, a very important part about the whole Alpha and Omega thing is that as a player in the game, you will not be able to tell what kind of a clone state the other player is in. And that makes sense because otherwise that will give you a tremendous tactical advantage if you know that the player that you're going to be engaging with is an Omega or Alpha. These are, in my opinion, the most important details that I've read so far about the devlog, and please, if I missed something, do comment on this video, because there's actually a ton of information floating around right now, and I might be forgetting a few details here and there. But overall, at least in my personal opinion, this is a very interesting change that EVE is proposing and will be implementing in November, and I really think it will be good for the game. It will actually bring a lot more players in, it will encourage more casual play as opposed to being very serious about EVE. Personally, I've been playing casually for the past 3 years, I believe. That doesn't really mean that I'm going to unsubscribe because I really enjoy having the skills that I have right now, whether it's mining, exploration or PvP. But it will give people more of a chance to really explore the game in depth, not just over the 21-day period, but over more longer term. And I think would really encourage more people to actually subscribe. It will also give more incentive for older players to actually come back into the game and check out what's going on. Not to mention people that don't really have the funds to pay a monthly subscription every time, but might be willing to actually splurge now and then to unlock being able to train more skills while actually still remaining active during the times that they can't pay for a subscription. Regardless, the more I think about it, the more I think it's actually a very good change for EVE Online. But of course, a major announcement like this comes with a ton of criticism for the player base. All of these skies falling comments are typical what you would find from beta vets of this game. Pretty much every single change in EVE Online they will not like. That doesn't mean that there aren't actually very legitimate concerns about the free-to-play model, and I'm pretty sure CCP is interested in actually getting player-based input on this feature. The concerns that I found rather valid were the ability to create unlimited ganker alts, that is, suicide gankers in high sec, but a few people on Reddit actually tried to debunk that idea, and furthermore CCP themselves are trying to see what they can do to limit the suicide ganking activity of the Alpha state clones. And another very interesting Reddit post that I read was about Alpha clones actually being able to be used as a sort of a permanent map of the wormhole systems, because if you can create an unlimited amount of clones, why not place them in every single wormhole you find? And in my view, even a bigger concern about this sort of a drastic change to EVE Online is that we don't know what the impact will be until it's actually implemented. We got no idea what's going to happen in the game. We can predict certain things and try to avoid them, but it really depends on CCP on how well they will respond to how the game is changing. So it's a very risky and bold move on one hand, but on the other hand I think it's the right direction to go. So as my viewers, I'm really curious to hear what you have to say about the free-to-play model that's going to be introduced in November for EVE Online. please comment on this video. If you agree with me that it's actually going to be good for EVE Online, please give this video a thumbs up, and at the risk of having the most disliked video I've ever had, please give this video a thumbs down if you disagree with it and you think that actually this is going to be really bad for EVE Online. But regardless, November is going to be quite an exciting month for this game. All the changes coming with the industrial arrays and the new mining frigates and the new ship models are quite exciting, and of course the free-to-play model is here and we're going to be welcoming a lot more new players flooding this game. So thanks so much for watching, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next video.